Hello everyone, here is yet again another comparison with the new dragon outfit with other outfit. I decided to make a new extra one to include all of your comments and suggestions on my previous Shuju Pool review with my personal thoughts and also on the comparison between Born Flawless and the dragon that I've already done. This time I'm not gonna comment anything, but just to explain a little bit of the test that you're gonna be seeing here, because a lot of people were a little bit confused. I was comparing in that video 4 action points versus 4 action points. That is because when you ult with Born Flawless or the dragon, you refresh all of your action points. And you can also fill up your bar by defeating Esselins. But to fill your bar by defeating Esselins, you cannot spend any of the abilities. So the dragon takes a long time to defeat Esselins to fill up the bar without using its abilities. While the Born Flawless, because the normal attack is in area, it fills in quite quickly, so it wouldn't really be fair. That was the reason why I chose to compare only 4 action points, because right now in update 2.5 we all only have 4 action points in idle, so you don't need to do anything if you expanded your Heart of Infinity and you will have 4 action points. So I was comparing the exact same amount of energy available. Some abilities do not use energy, such as Behind Prayers and the Unicorn, so I didn't include them in the previous video, but I will include in this one. But do keep in mind that although Behind Prayers does not consume energy, it is only available in Elderwood Forest and Spira, so it has a massive downside in exchange, I would say, while the Unicorn, the Dragon, and Born Flawless are all available in every single map. Another thing that I want to remind you all of is that there is a high chance that 3.0 in 6 months will introduce a complete new combat style, so we may all not even be using archery at all by then. So keep all of those things in mind before making your decisions, because before you get too hyped up about a new outfit, you could be hyping someone else as well, and they could be spending money because of you overhyping that. So we need to be critical as much as possible to ensure that nobody gets swayed by anything that could spend or cost them money. This is like a really serious thing. That's why I try to be realistic and objective. So please feel free to share your opinions, but always try to make your own opinion first before, just blindly trusting anything that you see. And that includes applying to my videos as well. So all the information that you learn is extra information that you can use to base your decision on. I am just one person spending my very few time available trying to make guides and showcases to give you a little bit more of information so you can make better, more informed decisions. It does not mean that every single video that I post is fully extensive. I am not the developer. I'm just a player like anyone else, and I test things on my own time for fun and to try to be helpful. So please keep that in mind as well before you comment, please. Anyways, I hope this comparison helps, and any further questions or any other tasks you would like me to do, please comment down below and I'll try to make yet again another video, or maybe a short as well, because of course I didn't think about everything. So I'm glad to hear more suggestions. So moving on, I wanted to include here a proper guide for Born Flawless and also the dragon, because that was requested. I already covered this in many live streams for you guys with tons of tests and things at the beginning of update 2.5. So I wanted to just compile those informations on a video, because not everyone watches my live stream, so that would be more helpful in case you're trying to decide still if you want to pull for the dragon or not. So I noticed that from many comments, a lot of people who were talking about the dragon don't really have Born Flawless, and a lot of people who talk about Born Flawless don't have Born Flawless or don't have dragon, so I wanted to offer not just the comparisons that you guys requested, which I just included at the first part of this video, but I also wanted to include a guide on how to use them, because I realized that a lot of you are not using the outfits to its full capacity, and also you may not understand how the other outfit works, and you can't really have a clear comparison for that reason. So this is a guide that will be helpful for people who own the outfits and want to learn how to use it, and also for people who don't own the outfits and want to see how they work exactly on the day-to-day. And then you can check what is priority for you. Again, for me personally, priority is speed. I like to finish the combat as fast as possible, and I really really care about quick animations, quick dash, running around. So for me personally, Born Flawless is better because the speed is more important. If you're someone who struggle with the combat and you die a lot because you can't really move around like you play on mobile, Born Flawless will be better for you because of the shields and the healing. While if you are not struggling with movement, but you do struggle with combat, but you can still move around easily, then the dragon will be better because you're always airborne. So the chances of you being hit are lower, at least currently today in update 2.5. This could change, of course, in the future because they could put more flying attacks and flying Esslings, but currently right now, most Esslings just attack below the height that you're flying. So let's start with Born Flawless. We have tons of skills in Born Flawless. In the setup screen, you can customize so many things, the animations, you can shorten the alternative pieces, and deactivate the ult animation. So the ult will be super fast. So the abilities, first of all, we have the amazing dash. It's truly the highlight. You can dash normally if you just press it once, or if you press and hold, you will do the super fast dash that has amazing endurance as you've seen on the previous task. Then we have the normal attack, and you have a combo of 4 different normal attacks. So the first time that you press normal attack, the second, the third, and the fourth all have different effects. So the fourth attack is always the preferred one for both outfits, Dragon Born Flawless. In Born Flawless, the fourth attack, if you press normal attack like really quickly 4 times, the fourth one will do a attack in area with multiple arrows. And this is usually the attack that you're going to be using the most because it really wipes out the groups of Esslings in a singular second, as you can see here. However, you want to use that after the black hole skill. And I will explain a bit the reason for why you have to do that. You also have first the charged attack, and the charged attack is pretty much the same as any other archery ability. You press and hold and you will send homing arrows to the Esslings. However, Born Flawless have a few effects on the charge attack. First of all, the charge attack actually applies a mark on the Esslings. It marks them, it tags them. And if you do a black hole first or a normal attack 4 times first, it will also be super fast. So instead of taking long to charge the 8 arrows, it's gonna charge them really quickly. So you can make a charge attack really fast if you do the black hole, or if you do 4 times the normal attack first, and then after that you do the charge attack, it's gonna be super fast. Then we have the black hole, and the black hole is the most important skill for combat in Born Flawless. It's the foundation of everything here. It's what you need to use always. So the black hole absorbs all of the Esslings around a small area, and it also applies that tag. So if you use the black hole first, and then you use the normal attack after, you are actually going to explode that marking of sorts and deal damage in area. So you want to use the black hole to absorb and tag enemies, and then you want to use 4 normal attacks to explode that black hole mark and deal the actual damage. So if you're not using the black hole before, it's gonna be really hard for you to actually deal damage. And another skill that I saw a lot of people talking about that was actually the reason why I wanted to make this guide section of the video was the arrows in area ability. That arrows in area ability only deals damage if the Essling is marked. So you need to mark the Esslings first. You need to use the black hole first, or you need to use the homing arrows first to mark them. If they are marked, then the arrows will deal damage. So I saw a lot of people saying like, oh, like the ability doesn't really do anything. Of course it doesn't, because you need to mark it first. So maybe you're using it without the tagging, and if you just use the arrows first, you're just not going to deal any damage. Then we've got the shield, and the shield is going to be important for you if you struggle with combat or moving around. I personally don't really use the shield unless it's like a boss battle and I feel very lazy to dodge or anything like that. But the shield will add you free hearts, and you can just refresh. If you have 2 action points, you can use the shield again. So free hearts again, free hearts again. If your free hearts break, you can just use it again. If 1 heart break, you can use it again. You will always have free extra health if you were constantly using the shield. So that helps protect you a lot and you don't need to dodge or move or anything like that. Then we have the plunge, and the plunge deals damage in area like any other plunge and also explodes the marking. This marking, by the way, is called soul imprint, I think is the name, but I'm just calling this way because it's easier, because if you do read the descriptions of the abilities, they're so messy and long for no reason. Then we have the ultimate. If you ult with Born Flawless, which you will rarely do because the black hole plus normal attack already kills everything currently, if you do, like let's say you're in a boss battle and you do need to ult, then the ult will do tons of different things that I think not everyone is aware as well. First of all, it will refresh all of your action points. So if you spent all of your diamonds there, the blue diamonds for action points, it will refresh all of it. It will also halven the cost of every skill. So the black hole will be 2 and the arrows will be 1 instead of 4 and 2. It will also deal increased damage and the plunge will change. During ult, when you plunge, you'll actually heal 3 hearts as well. So that shield almost comes back and you get that 3 hearts protection again. And it also teleports you instantly to the enemies. So you will deal damage on their location, doesn't matter if you are close to them or not, while also refreshing 3 hearts. The ult also allows your charged attacks to deal attacks in area. So instead of dealing damage just to one Essling, it will deal to the Esslings nearby as well. And your black hole will be increased in damage and size. Your black hole becomes massive during the ult. It literally drags everything to it. Just a small tip is that your usual rotation for Born Flawless will be: you approach a group of Esslings, you press the black hole, absorbs all of them, applying the marking on them. Then you're gonna use your normal attack 4 times. The 4th time will be that area of attack arrows, and that's it. You probably don't need to do anything else. If there is any Essling still alive, then immediately after the 4 normal attacks, just press and hold your charge attack because it will be super fast. Since you just exploded the markings, your charge attack will be super fast and will charge almost immediately. And if needed, just repeat. During a boss battle, then you want to do the rotation, spend all of your action points, and then you want to ult and keep doing your rotation. If you're struggling, you can always use the shield and also the ult plunge to heal 3 hearts constantly. So I hope this clarifies how the Born Flawless is used. And now moving on to the dragon outfit, it's slightly simpler and easier to understand. On the dragon, you want to be in the gliding mode always for combat, because the gliding will apply to your Nikki this soul vigil mode. So you're kind of like marking Nikki instead of marking Esslings this time. If you are not gliding or you don't have action points enough anymore, then you can ult to refresh those points as well, just like Born Flawless. The problem here with staying in soul vigil mode is that the glide really spends a lot of energy because you normally only have 4 idle action points, but the glide consumes 2 just to activate. So you actually only have 2 action points of duration for your glide, which is the soul vigil mode that you want to be in all the time. So most combats you will be ulting a lot. Ult is really important for the dragon because of the energy efficiency problems that it has. So you will be ulting all the time. So first of all, we have the normal attack, which is also a combo of 4. It also has 4 different normal attacks. After you hit your 4th attack, if you stop, like if you don't spam your normal attack, you can press and hold your charged attack to get it super fast as well, just like Born Flawless. So it gets super, you do the 4 normal attacks and then you do the charged attack. The charged attack will be super fast. The charge attack has 1 extra attack. So if you're gonna deal like 1 damage, the charge attack has a bonus 1 on top of that sometimes. It also gets faster, even faster, sorry, if you are in the gliding mode. So again, if you're in the soul vigil mode, like Nikki's marked, then your charge attack will be super fast, just like Born Flawless. Then you have the glide, and the glide is something that obviously doesn't have on Born Flawless, and I think that this would be Dragon's strength in comparison, because if you really care about gliding and you don't have Behind Prayers, you don't have Unicorn, and you really struggle navigating the overworld, you really need that gliding ability, then you will want to glide for exploring. You also want to glide always during combat because again, it marks Nikki with that soul vigil mode. Then you have the arrows in area of attack. So these arrows will be dealing damage in a small area, but if you are gliding, it will increase the area and the damage. And if you hold your charge attack after this arrow, you will get the supercharged, super fast charged attack as well. Then we have the dash, and the dash is just like normal, but if you press twice really quickly, you actually do a small little boost of a dash, but it does consume one entire action point, so keep that in mind. But I saw a lot of people in the comments also didn't know that, at least on the first day of the update. Then we've got the plunge, and if she is in the glide mode, that plunge will actually teleport you to the enemies as well, just like Born Flawless. But if you press too quickly, you'll return to your original location instead of moving to the next enemy, which personally for me, because speed is important, this is so annoying to me because I'm trying to just like spam the button so I can deal damage, right? But if you press too quickly, you return to your original location. So if you care a lot about being super fast and you normally spam buttons, then you're gonna be annoyed because you're gonna be returning to your original location instead of dealing more damage to the next Essling like the Born Flawless does on the ult. So you need to wait a little second there, and then you press plunge again to then teleport to the next Essling, if there is a group of Esslings, of course. And then we have the ult. So the ult refreshes all of the action points, just like Born Flawless, and also enters this Soul Vigil mode, which is the gliding, and also deals a great damage in area if you consume return sigils, which you can obtain only by using the super fast charge attack. So for the dragon, it's really important that you are always gliding and that you are always using your charge attack. Even if you're using the abilities, even if you're using the norm attack, you need to use the charge attack before you ult, so you can actually deal damage with your ult. And so you can actually, you want to spend all of your, similar to Born Flawless here, you want to spend all of your action points with the glide and the norm attack and potentially the area of attack arrows, and then you ult, and then you rinse and repeat, do all of that again. But again, I think one good thing for you to compare is the main differences between the two outfits is the dragon has the gliding, which Born Flawless doesn't. Born Flawless has the super fast dash, which the dragon doesn't. And the dragon is more focused on using charged attacks and also ultimates. And the advantage of the dragon is gliding around, so most attacks don't really get you because you're over the ground. However, do keep in mind, it does have a bit of an energy efficiency problem, so you need to be always paying attention to your action points. During your gameplay, you will be paying attention to the action points a lot with the dragon. Born Flawless is more focused in speed, and it does a lot of damage in area. So you won't be really ulting much with Born Flawless, at least not on the daily basis. You're probably never gonna ult with Born Flawless. You're gonna be focused on the black hole plus normal attacks. And you have the dash for movements, and you also have the shield and the healing for, survivability. If you can't really dodge or you can't really be bothered, which happens to me as well. Anyways, reminder here as well, something else that a lot of people said that was complete misinformation. Please, reminder, you can't choose what ability you use in the story boss battles. The game actually forces you to use certain outfits. So for example, even if you have the dragon at the end of the story boss against Mortalite, you will be forced to use the base purification outfit. Doesn't matter if you have Born Flawless or the dragon. I have both, and I'll still have to use the base purification. So this doesn't really matter. Please don't say that you can when you can't. Please check your information before you're sharing with others. Also, you cannot use the dragon in the bubbles in the Mother Shroom map either. At least for me here, as you can see, it doesn't really work. I don't know why so many people were saying that either. Not sure if it's a bug that I'm experiencing. I can't confirm, of course, but all the times that I tested, never worked. I still have to use the base purification. So keep that in mind as well. And for both, don't forget that doesn't matter what you have, if you have base purification, Born Flawless, archery, or if you're using actual purification skills like the Forever Bond and Timeless Melody, don't forget that you can use the companions to help you as well. And also Momo, of course. So Momo will also do damage, and if you struggle with survivability, then Magio is an amazing companion for you as well. So yeah, that's the extra comparisons. If you want to see the first comparisons, you can check my other previous video, and also the second half of this video that was like a general super fast guide on how to use better the outfits if you have those and you may not be using them to the full potential. So again, my role here is to provide you with information so you can make your decision. I cannot make your decision for you guys. I need to remind you that. And also, I cannot allow misinformation to be spread. Like, it spreads like wildfire online. Always be careful. Always check multiple sources of information. Again, this applies to my channel as well. Don't just blindly trust everything that you see online, even if it's on the Moon Sugar Cake channel or anywhere. Like, as long as it's not from the official sources, if it's not coming from, like in the case of Infinite Nikki, if it's not coming from info themselves, then everything is questionable, right? You need to always try to gather information to make your decisions. I wish you so much luck on your polls. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to all of the members and patrons who support the channel and make these videos possible. And see you on the next one.
Ryan Little. Listen.